We're so excited. Welcome. Video 4 in our series. And so happy that you guys have joined us for our 4 videos. If you haven't seen the first 3, you can still watch them until Sunday. 3 videos in our series. But for tonight, we would like to read in the comments who's watching, where you're from, do you currently train for dog agility? So let us know. Already have questions coming in about Handling360 because tonight's the night.
Oh my God. Yeah.
We will be opening registrations to Handling360 and answering any questions you have. That comes much later because we do have things to talk about tonight. So, hello from Japan.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Yumi. Hello. So tonight we are going to be talking a little bit more about beliefs. We're going to go into the uniqueness of Handling360, and we'll say right off the bat, it's going to be difficult if you have no idea what Handling360 is. There is nothing in dog sports that we can give a comparison to, because there is no other, in dog agility for sure, there is no other program that is built like Handling360. We'll go into that a little bit more, but watching from Boulder, Colorado, I've been learning all things agility for the last 10 months. Welcome.
Ireland.
Oh, from England. Okay, I've never heard of that place, Patsy.
Minnesota.
Ohio, agility exhibitor, H360 and Agility Nation subscriber, Viola, you woo. Hi from Georgia. You could keep reading while I get a drink.
Queensland, Australia. I know some people are happy in the room.
Got 2 fellow Queenslanders here.
Kentucky, Massachusetts, not training at the moment.
California, Texas.
Awesome. England. Wow.
Okay, so let's start by giving away a prize. Do you have the
I
prize?
love that.
Okay. I don't have the prize.
I have a prize.
Okay.
So it's we would like for you to share it with your friends. If you're watching this and you have friends that you think, oh, this could be helpful for them, share with your friends on your social medias, your Facebook, your Instagram, or Facebook groups, and write in a comment where you have shared.
Yeah.
And we will pick a random winner.
Yes.
Random winner. This, it's the fluffy toy. I don't know if you can see from For My Merles.
Big heart.
Shout
2 big sponsors that we.
And it has the Handling360 logo. Oh no, Susan is on it again.
I think that's more of a heart.
That's like a face.
No, that's a heart. Like if you have to draw on it, like there's the 2 bumps and there's the crack.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Oh, hello from Finland.
Sweden is in the house.
Yeah, it's really, it's
late. 1 a.m.
It's like 1 a.m. Okay. We also, in our last live, we asked people to share what they learned, like a gem that they learned from our live, and we picked a share winner. Do you want to read this?
Yeah, I can. Love it.
Oh, it's small.
Oh, it's small. Okay.
Good thing I picked you.
What?
Youngest eyes on the panel.
What an amazing session. I have a note page full of gems, but my top 3 would be: you need a group that inspires and lifts you. I love Max's suggestion to ask yourself, when I walk away from my group, do I feel charged up or exhausted? I felt charged after the live session, so I must be in the right place. No, we have 2 more. The best learning happens when you're a little bit uncomfortable. Be willing to try something and then call upon your support group when you need help. Awesome. And the foundation exercises allow your dog to make all the learning mistakes away from the equipment, so they don't make those mistakes on the equipment. Setting the dog up for loads of success on the equipment and avoiding any mistakes being associated with the equipment. Nikki, awesome.
Nikki, you nailed it. There's a lot of really good gems.
Awesome.
I love that. And in order to, we all want the best for our dogs. So you want to always have a learning environment for the dog, no matter if it's agility or obedience or family, manners. You want that environment to be one that creates enthusiasm
Yeah.
for the subject, right? So that the learner wants to keep learning, because that's ultimately the best thing that you can condition in your dog is a love of learning, right? Because if
Oh
they've
my
got
God.
that,
Mhm.
like they're constantly keen to want to do whatever you want to do. And failure, it's almost like they're inoculated to failure. Like no one likes failure, but dogs who have been raised in an environment rich of confidence and the trainer is always protecting that confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's all about, right?
Exactly.
Okay, we have a focus in our last live. I said that there's five lives. There's 5 beliefs
Mhm.
that in order for you to achieve whatever success looks like to you, you know what does success like? How would you define success? We can go around the room. There's 5 people in this room. I'm going to put you all on the spot. Like what, with your dog in agility, how do you define success? Who would, okay. We have our first volunteer.
You said we all have to do
Yeah,
it.
we all have to do it. She's jumping in first.
I define success through joy. The amount of joy that I have with my dog, the amount of joy that my dog has with me. That's how I define success. Next one.
Can I go next?
Yeah.
It's smart to be.
Yeah, it's smart to go quick. So I think Enya is the key to all of it. So
Right.
I think we all agree that this is for sure very, very important. And then for me personally, I think growing and progressing.
Oh,
So
those 2
not
really
stagnating.
good ones.
Yeah.
Yes, because you can constantly create the joy, but I think if you're not moving forward, I mean, obviously we are all moving either forward or backwards. And if we're not moving forward, then that joy, we're having that joy, but we are stagnating. And eventually you won't have the same amount of joy because there's so much of a thrill when you overcome a challenge,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's awesome.
Anybody, Jenny?
I think, of course, what you guys said, but also giving my dog like the most variety and adventures that they can possibly have in their life, like the most they could do.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Mom?
I think at the end of the run, the joy that my dog and I have at the end of the run, like when you have that celebration, like, and you know you've done the best job that you both have possibly done.
And you get
And
right inside the
yeah. And it's the joy of picking up the toy and the celebration. Like to me, that's the epitome of the run. Like it's just so much fun.
Kat?
I think for me, it's when you've had a challenge and then you've overcome the challenge and you're having fun with the outcome of that process.
Yeah, that is. And that ties into what Max said about growth. I think for my definition of success is far more simple. It's just beating Max. That's all I've got. No.
She did that with the tortilla wrap.
I just love unlocking a different layer in the dog every time. Like today with waffles, right? When the light bulb went on and he started circling the cone, like I get so wrapped up in that of the dog just going, I've got it. Or like when we're playing crate games and the dog goes, oh, like I could do that. What are you talking about? So I love that like every day you can create a success for yourself. Okay, so we were looking at comments. All right, so we talked about the. Oh, thank you. How do we say her name?
Grania.
Grania. Okay, so we'll talk about our shirts in a minute. I want to talk about those 5 beliefs because those 5 beliefs are what contribute to our success.
Yeah.
And so whatever your definition of success is, in order to keep growing to your next level of success, you need to have what we just decided is 100% confidence or belief in your mentor, who is
Your coach.
helping you get there, your coach, 100% belief in your dog. So I want to ask this question, and hopefully it'll be a simple question. Just put in the comment here. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, rate your belief in your dog's ability to be successful in dog agility. I'm not saying based on your training today or based on what you know today, based on your dog. Do you have belief in your dog on a scale of 1 to 10? Leave a comment of what is your belief in your dog. House tater salad, he's doing epic and awesome. So what is your belief in your dog? So you can read them and I'm going to go
10,
on.
10, 10, 10, 10, 10.
10, 10. Jimmy has 10
10.
and 3 different dogs. I
10.
love it.
10. 10. He's
You
so
guys,
amazing.
your dogs are so freaking lucky to have you. That's all. You know, so many people say, oh, you're so lucky to have that dog. Some people who believe that much in their dogs, I love it. I love that you guys believe so much in your dog.
Would be an 11.
Oh, Sherry, that's awesome. That's awesome. Mally would be an 11. That's amazing. So you have to have belief in your coach. You have to have belief in your dog for sure, and what their potential is. If you could unlock that full potential. And so I love that you guys are like there. And it's no shame if you don't quite believe in your dog yet. Like that's what we're here for, is to help you see that. You don't even have to write that in the comments if you don't 100% believe in your dog. So in agility, and I know it's like this in North America, and I'm not sure if it's the same way in Europe, but you'll hear people say, oh, I like to trial under this judge because I can get qualifying scores. I can, or I don't like going under that judge because they make the courses too hard. And maybe it's not, I don't know, because our systems are so different. And here in North America, there's a lot of emphasis put on being consistent, like just getting a qualifying score. So there isn't any extra for winning, right? Yes, in your mock points, you get some extra weighted, but it's more, everything is about going qualifying. So you want to go to the judges that put out things that are easy, right? But well, let's talk about what's the downside of doing that.
Yeah, so multiple things. Number one, I think if I look at myself,
Yes.
I would say if you have maybe the goal of doing more, growing with the sport, you're limiting yourself.
Right.
You're stagnating. You're not growing anymore.
Right, because you're doing what's easy.
You're doing what's easy.
Yeah, and I think in general, it's not going to develop the sport. I think that's like the main problem that I see is we keep it easy so we can run clean. But the sport doesn't really get the room to grow if we are not facing a challenge with a positive attitude.
Right.
So that's the main thing that I see.
For sure. And again, here in North America, judges get paid a lot more than they do in Europe. So it's in the judges. If you want to get 20 or 30 judging assignments a year, then
you don't want to put too difficult.
You don't want to go too difficult because people don't want to invite you back because they want to get their clean runs to get their titles or whatever. So when you seek out or hunt out the easy judges, you actually reinforce the easy courses and you don't put yourself or the sport in your area in a position to grow. So it could happen in like a pocket of North America that they only bring in easy judges here. So that pocket stays trapped in 1975. No, there was no agility there. So 1985, right? It gets locked there. And so that's why when we were talking about, instead of wishing for things like to go to the easy judge, why not wish that you could learn to handle hard better, right? And so that's the theme of Handling 360 is we want you to be able to handle hard better.
We want you to go to a competition and you feel like, oh, this course is easy, or where are all the challenges that I've trained for? Like that's what we want you to feel when you go to a competition. So you are prepared for challenges and that you feel, oh, I want more challenges. Bring them on me because now I've trained for them.
And there's some people who feel like, I remember, I don't remember what world championship it was, but there was a world championship. Teresa won. I think the very first time she won was
17, yeah.
right.
17.
And there was so few people that qualified.
Mm.
And I came home, and I think I got home at 4:30 in the afternoon, and I set that course up, and I put it on Facebook. I set it up in my building, and tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, I'm going to run it, and I'm going to do it live, because I feel that it was a tough course, but I loved it because it challenged me so much as a handler. And I ran it live, and I did qualify that here. Of course, being at the World Championships is a completely different thing, but instead of like everyone, like I've heard so many people grumbling, that's not the way World Championships should be. We should have more qualifying scores. Handle hard better.
Yeah.
Right.
And I can tell you, if you can handle hard better in training in the beginning, then qualifying will be so much easier, no matter what course the judges are putting.
Yeah, because it's not necessarily connected to that you have to have the desire to even go to the World Championships or anything like that.
Absolutely.
It's whatever is now feels hard for you.
Right.
And to be able to face that challenge of what feels hard with a positive attitude, regardless of level and ambition. I mean, we always encourage our students to have ambitions because ambitions and fun go hand in hand. It's not either.
Right.
You can have both. But regardless of where you want to be, we want you to be able to handle hard better.
And if you are a novice person watching this, then how would this apply to you? Because you're not even going to a trial yet. Well, I remember the first time I took a really hard course in university, and it was organic chemistry. And I remember thinking, I won't tell you my original thoughts, but I remember thinking, like, I want to be able to get this. Like, I don't want to say I just want to know how to figure something out. I want to understand it. I wanted to understand it. And so, like, you might be starting on your agility journey, and this might be wholly overwhelming. Like, I don't need this. I just want to put cookies on the ground and have my dog eat a trail of cookies. But embrace the challenge. Embrace it as a brand new to agility person, because that's what's going to like get you on this fun train of confidence, right? Because you're jumping right in. Okay, so are there any comments that we want to?
I love this one. I
Okay.
just had it on for a second. Easy is relative to your training.
That's so true, right? So true. Okay, do you want to talk about that? That's a really interesting comment.
There's a line between hard and safe, isn't there? Yeah, well, if we are talking about hard, we're not talking about hard lines or like
not at all.
Lines that are impactful on the dog's body or something like that. It's challenges that, of course, should be in a safe way. And I would even say, when I look at competitions and I see easy courses, lots of the times they are not as safe as the more difficult ones.
Right.
Because dogs might go much faster, the distances are not well put or something like this. So I actually believe there has to be a nice balance. We
are not saying you should embrace dangerous courses.
No.
Right? Courses, I'm going to give you an example of hard. Sorry. She puts out these great courses that you walk it and you go, okay, this is no problem. But she sees dogs' lines so well that the hard comes in, because if you don't know your dog's line and know what they're going to look at when they land, you're going to have an off course that you didn't even predict, right? So it's not like it's dangerous at all. It's that, oh, I didn't keep a connection where my dog might have spied another option, or I did a half blind, which opened up another possibility for my dog. So that's hard. It's about staying in connection with your dog and still being able to progress a course.
Getting ahead.
Right.
I have one. It says, I think in Europe, we slightly have the opposite discussion. It's getting so difficult that it is no longer a sport for everyone. And I think I've seen the discussions, and I think for us, when we say handle hard better, that is not necessarily connected to what the dogs have to perform.
No.
Because hard for me can be getting that front cross in time to make sure I get a good line for the next obstacle.
Right.
So what is hard is different for everyone.
Right.
And I think it's a difference for like the challenge that I feel connected to something that's difficult for me versus that the sport is going in a direction where we ask a lot from our dogs.
Right.
And then for us, I mean, we want our dogs to have the education, and we want us as handlers to have the education. So what once was hard doesn't feel as hard anymore. That's more. So I've seen the discussions, and I think it's, yes, in some situations the courses can demand a lot from the dogs. But for me, like the front cross can be equally difficult to get on.
And for me, let's say the three of us are, it's September of 2025. We are running individual at the World Championships, and we're walking the course. So probably you two are planning a blind cross in an area that allows your dog to read the full extension. And for me, the hard is, do I dare attempt to get to that blind cross, or do I rear cross and then, create a challenge for me to get the acceleration out of the turn the same? So that would be hard. I think that the more that you understand your own dog's line, the more courses seem simple, not hard.
Yeah.
And we are not saying agility should be like organic chemistry, right?
No.
It should be your ability to be able to see things, and it's almost like the game slows down. So the first few times I tried to run Profit in a sequence, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be fast enough for this dog. But now everything is in slow motion for me. So the hard has just become so much easier, right? And that's what will happen for you when you understand the dog's lines. You understand, I have the ability to do any handling that I want to, because I know my dog understands those cues. Some great comments, some great questions. Okay, let's talk now about your next belief. And this one is sometimes difficult for people. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to ask one more question. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate. So I want you to pretend we're going to go to a land where you can handle hard better, where you're going to walk into any agility trial and you are going to be able to execute. I'm not saying you're never going to be challenged, because all of us are challenged, right? But we are going to see different challenges and we're going to be excited by them. All right. So now imagine you're at that place on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest. How much would it mean to you to have the handling skills that you could go to any trial and have clarity and confidence with your dog and stay in connection as you go around the course? So what on a scale of 1 to 10, let's go back and see the comments. What would that, Jess, that's funny. That would be a 20. So on a scale, oh my God, you guys are funny.
1,000.
Yes.
7, I still mess up.
Yes. 100. I think we got the right group here, because they all think so much about their dog. They have so much belief in their dog.
Our kind of people.
This is very specific, Diddy. Don't make me laugh. That's super specific. So if you had that kind of Corinna with a purple heart, let's see what she did right there. Handling 360 colors. Here's another very specific. It's a 12 out of 10. That's awesome. Awesome. Okay, so think about that. What would it mean to you? How much would you value that? That's a question. Now, I want you to answer this next question. I'm going to keep that one on the screen. How much belief do you have in yourself that you can get there, that you can be that handler? How much belief? Or does the little voice in your head say, oh, your feet are too sore. Oh, you're carrying extra weight than when you were 40.
I know one.
What's that?
Your dog would have been so much better with someone else. It's a classic.
So many.
So
That's
many
such a
have
good
that
one.
thinking that their dog
Love your
would,
honesty, Sherry.
for some reason, be better with someone
Yes.
else.
Yes.
We don't believe that.
No. Okay, so what is the belief you have in yourself? And this is the hardest one for people because we all carry around our past experiences. Maybe you trained with somebody who said I'll tell you one. When I was I worked in the pharmaceutical industry when I was in research, and I said, oh, I really would like to work with people. I'd love to be in sales and marketing. And the sales and marketing manager kept telling people, she doesn't have what it takes. She would never be good with working with people or keep her in research. So just because you may have had coaches in the past that put the belief in your head, you're not as good as this person, you don't have what it takes, you're not a good enough dog trainer, then you have to know that was their trauma-filled past talking. That is not who you are. You just need to find a posse of people that believe in you for you to believe in yourself. So you have to be able to discard that past and the negative people that filled your brain with the possibility that you aren't enough because you're freaking enough. And so that's the hard thing, is to believe, right? Like that you can get there. So, so several of you, I love your honesty. Several of you were saying currently at a 5, but I believe I can improve. Cesar at the beginning a 1, today 5. I love that you guys are just so vulnerable to share these numbers with all of us, because I think we have a great group here. Yeah. You believe in your dog. You want to be that handler for your dog. And yet, you recognize that this is something that's holding you back.
Yeah.
And the truth is, in order to get to a place of change, Christopher, he was in the Norwegian army. And he said one of the things that he learned, is a mutual friend of the 3 of ours. And one of the things that he learned was that in order for any change to happen, and they taught him this in the army, any change to happen, you have to have 4 components. And the first component is you have to have the motivation to want change. The second is you have to have the vision of what you want. So we've already defined that: clarity, confidence, connection as a handler. You have to have that vision. You have to have the steps that are going to guarantee to take you there. We've got that for you tonight, Handling 360, and you've got to have the belief. So those 4 components, if any one of those is a 0, it's multiplied, then the whole equation is 0. Yeah. You can't change without all of those being full on for yourself. And so for some of you, you've been following us now, our 4th session. Yeah. And you probably don't even need for us to talk about Handling 360. You probably are like, I'm in. Yeah. So if that's you, we're going to get somebody on the team can put a link in. It's handling360.com/join. You can join us right now. And so if that's you, then go ahead and join and come on back in the comments and tell us when you joined. All right. I know for the rest of you, you really need to know a little bit about what Handling 360 is before you join. So there's, what was that?
So we had one question here. Oh no, it was not a question. It was, I say 10. I love that.
Yes.
And then I spend a lot of time in recallers, prep school, and flat work. Progress is going on. Sometimes takes a while, but yes.
Perfect.
It's awesome.
To be okay with that, with the, like, knowing that. So Yumi, you talked about progress, and that is the healthy gap that we encourage everyone to be measuring. Where you were yesterday, where you are today.
Yeah. Progress, not perfection.
It's so easy to measure the unhealthy gap of, oh, where's my litter mate? Oh, she has my litter mate and she's already got like qualifying scores.
Where is that person on social media?
Right. Or that seems to have perfect videos every time on social media.
She has no bad training.
No, never. Or where was I with my last dog? It must have been hard with backs, right?
Yeah. Should I explain a little bit? Yeah. So when I had Bax, I'm sure lots of people know that he was like, he was so nice to me, and he's just awesome and smart. And then I don't want to say Make is not smart and nice, but it's difficult. It was very difficult. And
she was your dog after.
And he was the dog after
Bax.
And like she entered our life the year Bax had his first season of tryouts and everything, where he was just like rocking and winning. Everything. So this was really very difficult because she's such a difficult type of dog. I thought I just needed to figure out how to help her. And once I started to believe in us, and once I started to seek for progression all the time and not compare her to Bex, because that was a problem. Comparing her to Bex, it was just not possible. And still to this day, it wouldn't be possible and it wouldn't be fair to her.
Right.
But comparing her and me to ourselves and seeing the progress that we've done over the years,
the healthy gap,
crazy, and that makes me so proud. And I always have to remember that because that's actually what counts.
Right. And if you had continued to look at the unhealthy gap, how great Bax is and how this little Sheltie doesn't even want to tug with me or doesn't want to hang out with me and always wants to go somewhere else. If you continue to focus on the unhealthy gap, then it actually handicaps you.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
it would have lowered your belief in yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? As a team, I don't have what it takes to bond with this Sheltie.
Or the belief in your dog.
Right.
And I thought for a period of time, I thought that maybe I was just lucky and a one-hit wonder with that dog.
Right.
But then I figured how to grow with her, and that made it so much more special.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's tough sometimes to have that belief and to know that wherever you are right now in your challenges, that there is progress. But like Yumi said, is I love to see where I was before, and I may not be at the top. I am on my way.
Can you hear us, guys? Because we have one comment of if the sound has gone for anyone. Just making sure.
So no, people are
okay. All right.
Good.
Sorry.
Perfect. Thank you, Sherry. Okay, so you can read that.
I believe we just have to love the dog we have and not worry about another dog. Let's just work with the one we have. That's the one God chose for us.
Absolutely. And so if you just focus on how much you love that dog, then the solutions keep coming and keep coming and keep coming, for sure. That's for sure. Okay, so let's talk a little bit now. We've got belief in your coach, belief in your dog, belief in yourself. And the next thing is you need belief in a plan. And so the plan that we have for you, we are super excited about.
It's crazy. It's awesome.
How many days have we been videoing?
No idea.
470,600 minutes.
452 or what? Some comment.
Lots of days, full days, awesome days.
Oh yeah.
So some people are saying they don't have sound, but other people are saying it's good. So we're fingers crossed that it's just maybe so it's YouTube says that they have no sound, but the next YouTube said they do, so we're good. So we've been shooting for our brand new Handling 360 Synergy. I think this is day 15 of videoing.
Like this.
And we have 3 more days or 2 more days. I don't even know what day of the week this is.
3 more days.
3 more days plus we've already booked another 10 days of videoing in Germany.
Yeah.
So we're flying the videographer over. We're flying our team over. We're flying Kathy back in from Australia. So that just shows how much is packed into synergy, right? So when you look at Handling 360 as it is right now, it's Handling 360 Connect. That's when you join tonight, you will be in Handling 360 Connect. Very, very similar, but what is changing in synergy is the depth of helping you in the handling. It's handling 360 synergy.
Yeah.
So like we know that is maybe the gap for so many handlers is you can teach the obstacles.
Yeah.
You can teach the directionals.
Yeah.
But the synergy of all your movements, creating a communication language that is so clear to the dog. That's what we've been really focusing on, and continue to focus on.
Yeah, and it's really crazy because we sat together and we discussed of like, how do we want to put this together?
Right.
And like from my experience, it's like much more than I thought could ever be possible.
Yeah.
So we have like all the handler cues, everything that you could do with your body, what it means, and it's just a system that is, for some people it might be natural to do that, but for some it won't. So we see so many online courses of like some sort of dog training. Then we have, of course, the Handling 360 with like crazy good amounts of dog training. And now we can combine that. So either if you're a person who's very, very trained and very good at training dogs, awesome, we can help you with the handling and maybe still some more dog training.
Yes, our dog training is definitely innovative.
But for example, the other way around, if you are an awesome handler, but still something is missing, for example, or you want to improve.
Here's what I noticed, Max. So if I'm watching people at a seminar and I watch the same people that time after time after time, I see them come back and they're not improving. When I'm sitting there with my dog, I'm going, what is it? So imagine if you went to a golf seminar and they said, this is where we're putting. Now you putt. This is where we're driving. Now you drive. This is where so seminars tell you what to do, but no seminar tells you, well, in order to really get a good putt, you have to line the ball up like this. You have to hold your hands like this. You have to. So this is the difference. Instead of saying, this is where you put a blind cross, we're telling you, what does that mean?
How do you do a blind cross?
Where should your upper body be compared to your lower body? What's the timing involved with that? How can I get better in the timing?
Yeah, and you will get a system that you can apply on every course challenge that faces you. And I think that's a special thing.
Have any of you ever been in a seminar where you will be told, do this move? And then they'll say, no, your timing was off, or no, do it again. And no, your timing is still not off, or you were in the wrong place. But what if you had a system, a formula that you would know if somebody says, we'll do a blind here, then you would know, what does that mean? Where should I be looking? Where should my feet be pointing?
What's the timing?
And how in relation to my dog. So those are the things. So there's a question here. Does Synergy replace all other classrooms after a while? Yes. So right now you have Handling 360 Connect. When you join tonight, you get Handling 360 Connect, and you start working through that. March 1st, we will have the beginning of Synergy will be ready for you. So we're super excited. Our team is building a brand new website right from scratch.
Awesome.
With Handling 360 is different than other programs because it's custom built. It's not
very cool.
Yeah, it's not just a plug and play classroom.
No.
So, for example, I said to the team, and maybe I shouldn't tell the story because possibly this might not work, but they assured me it would. But I'm going to give you an example. 6 months ago, I said, one of the things I think would be really helpful for somebody learning handling is if we had like a 1-minute video on our lessons. This is what the finished product looked like. At the very bottom of the lesson, they could see that 1-minute video. And beside the 1-minute video was a blank spot. where they could take their video link from YouTube, say, and put it in there so they could
Compare them.
see, okay, how's that different? And the team came to me this week, said, yeah, we got that for you.
Awesome. Best team.
Right? So it's, it's hard for anyone to say, well, compared to my local class or there's nothing comparable. It's like saying, if you were to, we're going to go to the moon, let's take a rocket ship. I'm going to buy a rocket ship to go to the moon. But if somebody said, well, what about if I took a bicycle? Like, how would that compare?
Probably be a waste of money.
Yeah. It would be a waste of money for you to pay for the bicycle. Yeah. So why pay for the bicycle when you can get on the rocket ship?
Yeah.
Right. And that's what we are offering it is a year of coaching where it's not just us. We have a team of coaches that are from all countries around the world. That team is growing. And so you can get in there. You can ask a question. You don't have to wait. Like, let's say when the three of us are at the World Championships duking it out in September, we'll be there for a week. We'll probably be very intense for the week before. And, probably having celebrations the week after.
Absolutely.
And so we may not be getting into our online program, but that's not a problem. Our students still get great coaching whenever they need it because it isn't just one of us.
No. It's a whole team of great coaches.
Yeah. And they are so educated. I mean, we've had a few coaches here with us now filming this that are seeing every single video being filmed and learning so much at the same time. The coaches are just awesome.
Absolutely. And we have a coaching program for our coaches too. Yeah. We have Kathy, who's sitting beside me, she's the leader of our coaches. And so, we stay engaged. Yes. Go Kath. Okay. Question. When will Synergy be available? So the first, we can tell them a little bit about some of the names.
I was just thinking about it when we talked about the Handle Hard Better, and we talked about the angles and what is considered hard, and we talked about lines, and then we started talking about that you said that sometimes even the difficult ones can be better or like than the easy ones, the courses. And I just sat here and I'm like, I want to tell a secret. But personally, we've been filming lots of this today. Personally, I love the new classroom that is called Language of Lines.
Beautiful.
And it just deep dives. Yeah, shout out to Jenny for that name. That was awesome. And just deep dives into understanding the dog's line, the handler's line, what impact your handling has on the dog's line, what line to choose, what is a bad line. And it's just, I love that.
Awesome.
Yeah, love that classroom. I think it's going to be so
unique. It's so unique. There's nothing like it out there.
Unique.
So unique.
So when you first get there, we have our first classroom, which is Essentials, and that is going to be available at the beginning of March. And so you're going to work through each of those lessons, and then when you get to Handling 360, whether it's Connect or Synergy, we don't just overwhelm you by saying, all the classrooms are open, because it is a layered approach to your dog's education. We are so intent about the confidence level of you, the trainer, you, the handler, and your dog, the learner. Well, you're both learners in this environment.
As little failures as possible. And that's how the program is built.
Right. And because that helps you to handle hard better, because you're so equipped.
And the whole program is structured with layers of just building up and progressing and using skills that we have taught off equipment to later be like we just apply it into equipment and we minimize the amount of repetitions on equipment, but we have a way better understanding when we put the dog on equipment. And it's just an incredible layer-based program where you can do one layer at a time with coaching from
Right.
us.
And the nice thing about doing it away from the equipment is it's done in, you can do it in a room like a lot of it. We shot the videoing in this room,
Yes.
this very room. We did
Yeah.
a lot of it. So you can do it in your living room, in your backyard, in a whatever kind of small training den we call you have in your home. So much of the different or the beginning classrooms can be done there, and with minimal equipment. Like at first there's no equipment required, and then there'll be a cone, and then there'll be 1 or 2 jumps. There's so much that we do
So much you can do.
with 1 or 2 jumps, and way down the road a tunnel.
Yeah, and the fun thing is that like throughout these filming days, we have I have 2 dogs here, you have 2 dogs here. It's Zane, who ran a world championships last year, and it's partly she's 10, she ran 6 world championships, and you have your European champion here. But we have just been going back to basics with our dogs. It's been incredible to revisit so many of our foundations when we have filmed. And that's also one thing that I really like. We have used, I don't know, is it 9 or 10?
All of our
different
dogs,
Yeah.
and all of us went back to basics.
And
It's awesome.
And we've used actually small, medium, intermediate, and large dogs.
All sizes of dogs.
Yeah.
And we, the
all
3 of
breeds.
us, we handle all different sizes of dogs, right? On a regular
And
basis.
different character of dogs
Right.
as well.
Different breeds. We've used waffles
Yes.
to like,
He was the star today.
yeah. So
Believe, Shelties,
and-
Border Collies,
Yeah.
mix.
Okay, here's a great question from Maureen. Does Handling360 replace local agility classes, or how would it work with classes? So, Maureen, we want you and your dog, number one, to be brimming with confidence. So we encourage you to be in Handling360 and work through the process of the layers in the privacy of your own home with us coaching you. Then classes, you could go to classes for the stage we call showing off.
Yeah, exactly.
And the classes is not necessarily the best environment for a dog to learn.
No.
The best
It's
environment
never
for a
the best
dog to
environment.
learn is in a safe environment without distractions in your house, so you can build the layers of your training with confidence. So when you add the distractions of, for example, going to a local class where there are other dogs, there are other people, then you are already at the showing off stage. That's how we
Exactly.
see it. Yeah.
Chris says, at 72 years old, the way I move around the course is different than a 25-year-old. Does Synergy take that into consideration to help me figure out my path and the skills that I need?
Yes, absolutely.
100%.
I mean, I can answer that. I'm a 25-year-old.
Right.
Um,
I'm not a 72-year-old, just in case there was ever a question. Although after shooting 15 days in the row,
almost.
We
a
all
little bit.
yeah.
So
I think we all do.
I think that's one of the most beautiful things about the program is it covers all of it, and it covers it for somebody who says, I'm a fast runner, but I still want to improve.
Right.
But it also covers everything for a person who is not as fast or not as mobile even, because it's built on confidence. It's built on layers of understanding
built on
for the
verbal
dog.
cues.
Yes, for the dog and for the handler. It's lots of verbal cue information for the dog, how you use it. And I think there's no age limit
Absolutely not.
on Handling360.
I mean, just if
Yeah.
you look at the challenge that the 3 of us posted in social media this week, where we were standing at a cone and sending our dog out on verbal cues to do 4 or 5 different exercises. And so none of us really left that cone. And the dog was able to execute and change what we were asking.
Yeah.
When we put this together, my vision is somebody in an electric wheelchair, electric scooter is going to have unbelievable success with the program. And we want people to not get to a trial and try to run faster than they've ever run in their practice. We want them to feel comfortable. Whatever is your top speed, that's what your dog's going to get used to. And that's where your success is going to lie.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what age you are or how mobile you are or you're not.
Not at all. And I mean, even if, for example, Max is 25, I'm closer to 25 than to 72. We like to run, but we train our dog as if we couldn't.
Yeah.
And that's like the dog training that we want our dogs to have, and then we build in the synergy with the handling. But the running is not used as a band-aid to not train the dogs.
Exactly.
Can we just interrupt and welcome Jill Martin from Ohio and Kathleen from New York? Woo woo!
New Handling 360
New
students.
Handling 360.
Oh my God, you will love it.
Welcome.
Love it. Welcome.
gonna-
I'd love to have you there.
This is what we've been saying to each other, that there are people, so people are going to join us tonight, and they're going to have ridiculous success. And a year from now, they're going to be in a place they never dreamt possible.
Yeah.
And we are just excited about being there celebrating with you a year from now. So we know what's possible with the program as it's being put together. I'm like H360 has always been phenomenal, but it's going to a different level now. And it's not about complexity. It's about simplicity. It's about breaking things down for the handler so they understand the nuances of the game.
And another thing, when we talked about Handling 360 is for everyone, regardless of ambition. Just because we are sitting here talking about, at the World Championships in September, that's not at all. We encourage our students to have ambition. And after going through Handling 360, your ambitions are probably going to be higher than they were when you entered Handling 360.
Yeah.
But regardless of the ambition, we saw our Handling 360 student with the Beagle that never Levi
and Shelley.
that didn't have the ambition to compete, but she was the
champion of the backyard.
Exactly. So regardless of ambition and regardless of where you see yourself in January 2026,
right?
We are going to help you to get there, and we believe that when you are there, your ambitions, you're going to get there and further.
Yes.
So Judy said, I'm 69 and arthritic and trained my previous dog in H360. The program's so easy to adapt to your physical needs. My dog was fantastic.
Awesome, Judy.
Awesome, Judy.
Love that.
Yeah, and I would say that you will gain so much confidence, so much belief, and so much joy, and such a special relationship with your dog.
Right.
I believe. And there's always multiple sides to look at it. The more you can actually achieve, which is not connected to results on paper, it's connected to joy, fun, and progression. And the more you achieve that, the more fun you will have.
Right.
And I'm so 100% sure that this is what you're gaining from joining the program.
Exactly. Yumi said, my local coach became a student of H360. We two are learning together. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yumi,
I love
that's
that.
in Japan.
I love that.
Awesome.
That's
Super.
so cool.
So question, how will it work with our if I'm a current H360 student? First of all, don't join again, because we love our community. And so when you're a member, just so you guys know, when you join tonight, or you join this week, then next year when it rolls around, you do not have to invest the same amount. And let's talk about what that investment is. So I have a fancy little banner. So it is to join for it. You can do it for a 4 installment. So it would be $349 US tonight, and then the same time next month for the next, so 4 installments in total. Or you can save $200, right?
$200.
And you can join it for a one-time investment of $1,197. So,
and that's for 1 year.
Yeah.
That's for 1 year of coaching and helping you reach new levels. I mean, most of the online classes that are out there today, they are a 6 to 8 week class.
With one dog.
With one dog.
Limited
and
feedback.
Many of them aren't feedback at all.
Yeah, true.
So here we have like an investment of committing to this for 1 year. And it's
It's a coaching program.
Exactly.
It isn't just an education program. It's coaching. So we give you the lessons. They're in a video format. We give you a PDF. We give you quiz to help you with your understanding and your learning. We allow you to do the comparison. We have a chat right in our website. Yes, we have a Facebook group if you like that social part of it, but so many of our members decide to opt out of Facebook. And that's not a limitation, because the conversation with the coaches happens in our custom built membership area. So
yeah, and that's also one thing. Most of the online classes today are held on Facebook.
yeah,
And not everyone is on Facebook, or what I experience with Facebook is that it's not in order. Like there's no structure where you can really find, like the video that is on top is the one with the latest comment.
Right.
But that could be like months old or weeks old. So the structure is so difficult for many on Facebook.
and in Handling 360, obviously there's going to be like a lot of video lessons for you, but there's a way to, like, it's built in the program. You get to check off, okay, that one's complete. So when you come back, maybe you were on vacation for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You come back and like, what was my last lesson? Well, you just go back in and you'll go to the one that you checked off as complete. You can find your way back. You don't have to go, scrolling through, where was I? What was I doing?
Like, that's overwhelming.
And you should mention the features that it has, because I think that's awesome.
So go ahead. I can pull it up if you want.
I think that's awesome. So there's like, if you, for example, have sensitivity to something.
Right.
Features or
Right. The accessible, all the accessibility tools. If you, so if you have seizures, or if you need prints bigger, like there's a little icon in the bottom that there's, I think, 20 different accessibility tools that just with one click, you can change your whole presentation. So, you can make it all grayscale. You can, whatever works best for your way of learning. I even forget to mention that. That's another.
I think it's awesome.
Because my team is just so empathetic towards everybody's needs. They built those things in. Can you skip a lesson? You can, but why would you want to? Right? So why would never want to skip a lesson?
Because it's a layer coaching program. So if you're skipping layers, then that's going to catch up on you later. And I think that's what personally I see most people do.
Right.
And they're training.
Skipping layers.
Layers, not necessarily always because they intentionally do it, but because they don't know the layers and the path to success with confidence.
There was another question about if I'm in, I saw it said, I'm in Blueprint and in current Handling 360. Do I have to start at the bottom, back at the beginning? And we encourage you, because we're going to be rolling out Synergy at every new classroom. Carry on with the Blueprint while you're working on it now, and when the new Synergy comes out, come back, because maybe there'll be something said a different way or presented with a different demo dog that will create a little bit of an aha moment for you.
Even more.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And one more thing I have to mention about the website, I don't want to get lost.
Yes.
Is you have an actual search feature,
Right.
which is awesome.
That one. So this is
So
something new
awesome.
that even our current students don't know about. So a new search feature in that, if you say, I don't know that I'm really executing my blind crosses the way that they've taught me in this program. So you could go up and search blind cross, and it will give you all of the lessons that you've opened so far in the program about the blind cross execution. So if you just, I don't want to go back to every week and every lesson and find where they talk about blind crosses.
No.
You can just go blind cross, and we'll give you all the lessons that you've done so far. So yeah, that's an amazing. We've never had that before. Maybe you want to work just on, how do I teach those backside directional cues? So you can just put that in, and it will give you whatever you need.
It's awesome.
What age would you start? Well, Max was 25 when he started, but Pamela, I'm just messing with you. So, the answer to that is that depends. Yes, we have puppy things in this program, but maybe your puppy is like going crazy, chasing squirrels, won't bring back a toy, is not listening, then maybe that would be better for you to join recallers. And that's the other nice thing about a program. We have 2 guarantees when you join our program. So we don't want anybody to be a student if they don't want to be there. We don't want any, that happened to me once when I bought a program. It was quite expensive. And then I'm like, I'm with the wrong people. And they said no refunds. And so this program, you have 30 days to get in and see what it's like on the current website. Because remember, you get 2 courses with this one. You get Connect and Synergy. But you get in, you see what it's like, download the lessons, and you have 30 days to really decide if we're your people. Right? The second guarantee we have, let's say, Pamela, you're joining with a puppy. And, let's say it's a 3-month-old puppy. You have a dog training guarantee with us, meaning if you join Handling360, you start working through it with your puppy and you go, okay, my puppy is a little bit too distracted. I'm not having the success I should be. You contact our team, and then we will put a pause on Handling360 for you. And we will give you the opportunity to join recallers. And then you work through recallers until you see a change in your connection with your dog, and it will happen. And maybe it'll take you 2 months. Maybe it'll take you 4 months, however long it takes you. When you feel like I see a difference in this dog, then you contact us again and say, I'm ready to go back to Handling360. And whatever length of time it took you to work through recallers to get to the stage where you're ready to move on in Handling360, let's say it was 5 months, we will add that to the end of your Handling360 membership. So that's our dog training guarantee. So we have a guarantee that you're in the right spot because we only want people who resonate with the kind of people and trainers that we are. And you have your dog training guarantee because we don't want anyone to struggle. We don't want any dog to struggle. We keep talking about confidence in you and confidence in the dog. And that's what's so important. Okay. Can I do monthly? We have a 4 installment option for you, Gabrielle. So you would pay $350 tonight and then each month after.
4 months.
And I will say that so there's 2 things. We were talking before we went live tonight, and I said, wouldn't it be fun? We've never done this before. Wouldn't it be fun if for the people who join tonight, we do a little live tomorrow night? So anyone who joins in the first 24 hours, we will do a Zoom where you can ask us questions. We can celebrate the fact that you're our latest members. So that's going to be like an extra bonus of just hanging out with the 3 of us. And, maybe you could have some adult beverages, and maybe you could have some adult beverages, and you could have some tortillas. Was that what those are called?
Doritos? You mean the ones I like to eat in the evening, or you mean the one that you slapped me in my face? Huh?
What he eats is Dorito, and what you slapped him with was tortilla.
I don't know. I don't eat that stuff, but you can eat it.
Yeah, and you can hang with us, ask us your questions.
So if you join in the first 24 hours, you're going to be invited to a tortilla party tomorrow night with us at 7 p.m. Okay, so our current students, you get Connect, and you get everything like we're promising our news. You get the synergy, you You get everything. As long as you are an alumni with us or a current student working through H360, you get it all. You don't have to pay an upgrade fee. We take care of our community. And so we don't, do any.
We love our
Yeah, you have to, you have to get off that price plan that was really good for you. You have to give us some. No, we want you to continue on in our community. So you get both. So for those of you joining tonight, you get Connect, you get Synergy starting March 1st when we open. Now, March 1st, it might not be complete because the team has told me it will be ready, but maybe it's like when you build a new house, you might move in, but there's still a couple of walls that need being painted, and maybe, the furniture hasn't all been moved in. So it will be ready for you to watch lessons, but it may not be the way it's going to be finished. So we get that you are waiting, that you can be patient, and as we build out the full experience of Synergy. So maybe the side-by-side video might not be available right away, but it will be there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was reminded that I didn't talk about the fifth belief. So the fifth belief, and this is another biggie. Let's recap what our first four were. There's a test of you too.
The belief in our coach.
Mm-hmm.
Believe in our dog.
Yep.
The belief in myself.
And the belief in the structure, the plan.
The plan. And the fifth belief is that this is the right time.
Yeah.
That is a toughie. So many people say, I'm going to wait till next year. I'm going to, I'll get better. I'll get my dog better before I start. But
That's a common one. Like, I'm not good enough to join that yet.
We've told you, we've given you a dog training guarantee. Yeah. There is no better place to be with us than with us in the next 6 months.
And also, let's say you're a newbie, you haven't done any agility before.
Right.
This is like also new and maybe a little bit overwhelming, and you feel, oh, but I will do that later when I'm better. It's so much better to learn properly from the beginning than to have to unlearn something later. So
true. Yeah. This is a graphic that I want to share with you about 3 possible futures for you and your dog. Okay, so there's future 1, 2, and 3. Future 2 would be possibly, and nothing is linear. So this looks like a smooth line, but guess what?
It's never.
Dog training is never a smooth line, but it's like a basic flow. So future number 2 would be you're going alone, you're doing what you've done, and you're probably going to be about the same place in a year that you were today, right? You're not going to change too much because you like to stay in your comfort zone. And so, you know what happens in your comfort zone? Nothing changes. Yeah. So you're probably going to be in the same place. All 3 of those futures start in exactly the same place. The future number 1 is a future where you're following bad advice, but you don't even know it's bad advice. You're going to somebody's class who doesn't have the experience to know how to deal with the unique challenges of your dog, or maybe the way you get around as a handler. And so they give you inappropriate advice for your dog. Inappropriate advice. These are the ones that will say, let's get that dog on the dog walk and put cookies across the dog walk, or they'll have you getting to do real equipment. If your dog runs away, they'll tell you to throw a can at the dog or yell at them, get the squirt bottle out if they're barking. So the future with the number 1 on it, that's a future that is going to take you in a far worse place than if you just went by yourself. Now, I think you can guess what future number 3 is. That's a future where if you were to poll the greatest agility or minds and say, give me a list of the 5 handlers in the world that are achieving the best results, these 2 would be 2 of those 5 for sure.
And let me tell you something. If you ask people about positive reinforcement dog training,
invasion.
Invading so many things for dog training and agility and being successful. There's one name everyone has in mind.
And so you've got,
We're combining.
right, we're
Yeah.
combining the top expertise that you're going to find anywhere, that you would be so lucky to spend time with one of that kind of expertise. You're getting the three of us for a year. And so that's why we know it's that future that's going to take off and soar. And here's the thing. If you, let's say, we're talking about, you've got a weed in your garden. When is the best time to pull the weed? Is it when you first see it? Or what is it maybe when you go away on vacation and then you come back and then you notice it no, the longer that you ignore the weed, the harder it is to salvage your garden.
And I have another example. Especially, imagine you go on a train and the train goes in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
When should you get out of the train?
Yeah.
As quick as possible.
Right. So if you keep going, the longer that you keep going in the same direction, or the longer that you keep going in the wrong direction, while some of the people like Susanna from Alaska and Bev from Newfoundland, who just joined, they're headed on path number 3.
Absolutely.
So if you're going in the wrong direction, the gap between Bev and Susanna and where the person who is staying and doing it on their own, that gap gets bigger as the time goes by.
Definitely.
I think the train
It's great analogy.
is great analogy for number 1.
Yeah.
And the weed is great analogy for number 2.
Right.
Because no, you're not necessarily going in the wrong direction, but if you're not doing something now,
You're gonna have a problem.
You're gonna have a problem. Your garden's gonna be
your
gone.
garden is gonna be
Gone. It's gone. Gone garden.
gone garden.
Gone garden. Okay. Okay. So how many lessons in a year? There's gonna be a lot.
But so I can tell you, there's lots of things that we've shot for lessons, but the way that it will come to you is designed to be it's not going to be overwhelming for you.
No, not at all.
So it's going to be lots of information, lots of knowledge, and after this year, you will be in a place where you know so much about dog training and agility and handling. But it will come. It's built for confidence.
And also one thing that is changed from Connect to Synergy is the size of the classrooms, because we have Connect has 5 and Synergy has 10. So also we're adding more classrooms, and
because of the clarity we're giving to you.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just it's not that all of the information is given to you all at once. It's built same as for the dogs in layers, so you can process what you're seeing, process what you're learning, and work through those layers with confidence.
Definitely.
Exactly. Okay, lots of questions coming in. Can I join tonight and start in March? I broke my wrist. Okay, Mary, I'm sorry you broke your wrist. This is a great time for you to get in there as a student and start downloading in your brain the lessons. There's a lot of lessons that does not involve your dog. So that would be 100% my advice to you, Mary. And the nice thing is you can join tonight, and 30 days from now, if you say, I'm just not seeing the value, you won't say that, Mary.
You won't say that.
You can get a 100% refund. However, no, we are available. You can join us until the date.
6th.
Somebody give me the date. It's 1 week. So it won't be available. Oh, it will be available to buy in March, but it will be at our regular investment, which is $1,800. So definitely worth it now, Mary, to join with us now. Do you want to read that? I saved some of my voice for videoing.
I'm interested in rejoining, but the new Synergy program, will that be available within the year? I'm assuming the price is for the year.
So it's going to be available.
Yeah.
March 1st.
First
And,
month.
yeah, and Deb, the lessons will all be rolled out within the year. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yep. And another one that I have is, do I need a lot of equipment to
Ooh,
start
good
Handling
question.
360? Absolutely not.
No.
The like we said, that we teach so much of equipment, and the first classroom you won't need any equipment. It's going to teach you a lot about dog training and how to create behaviors that later will be valuable in your agility training, but everything is taught off equipment. And when we apply them to equipment, the dog can already has an understanding for the behavior and performs the behavior with confidence. So no, absolutely not. In the later classrooms, you might need a few jumps and maybe a tunnel, but that's later. So if you have 1 or 2 jumps and a few cones, you're gonna come up there.
And combining with that, it's not only you need not a lot of obstacles, but also you don't need a lot of space.
Yeah.
So especially the first couple of lessons in probably classrooms is going to be so much about away from the actual obstacles and agility, which Enya just said. So you don't need lots of space. Can be a living room, can be a little backyard.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
Okay, what would you say to people who are your own age that they're like, okay, that's a big investment. So like I'm worried about that.
I can say I wish I would have started in a program like this. Because it's just a clear structure with a clear system that gives me everything, the dog training and the handling combined. I have personally put so much money into classes and trainings that has like pushed me in the wrong direction, and where I had to relearn things. And it's an investment. It's definitely a huge investment if you're a student, if you're younger, but it's
An investment in you.
it's an investment in you and your dog, you as a team.
Right. But like what Enya brought up in, I think it was video 2, it's an investment versus an expense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and like what you're just saying is you paid less so many times that it's actually way more than what you would invest in synergy.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like you're wasting your money if you pay less.
Right.
Actually,
Because
it's
you
that
go
way.
to this trainer, this seminar, and you're getting this information. There's no clear structure. There's no path to follow. And
so true.
similar to what you said about going to seminars, and they say, do this handling here and there. But you
don't understand why you're doing it
Exactly.
or how you're doing it. And so you go to another seminar, 3 weeks later, you're making the same mistakes. We will fix that.
Yeah. So for the price of 4 seminars,
Right.
Yeah.
this is a year-long investment in you to reach your full potential by following a path instead of taking information here and there.
Okay, so here's a question from Noni Carr.
If I don't have space for jumps or tunnels, can I still progress through Handling 360? I started recently and we do training once a week and would like to do a few competitions this year. Okay, let me tell you, you can progress a lot in Handling 360 without so much space for jumps and tunnels. But what I can tell you is that without a strong program, without a strong structure, we would not recommend you to start competitions this year if you've just started training once a week.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we showed earlier with which way you could go. And that might transfer to going a little bit low and down, because especially if you start competing when you're not ready, the environment and everything, your dog is not prepared for it, you are not prepared for it. So I would not recommend that.
No.
I would say get into the program, get the structure, and rather invest your time into an actual really good plan.
So if you think of it, Noni, as cultures. So there's a culture of let's just get on equipment and let's let the dogs, experience what agility's like. We're a culture of confidence. We're a culture of safety. So we're a culture of growing your drive for having fun with your dog. And when you are in a classroom that is a culture of let's just get the dogs on the stuff so that the people think that their money is worthwhile, then what's going to happen is you run the risk of your dog losing interest. You run the risk of the dog getting distracted. You run the risk of the dog being chased down by another dog because the dogs lose the focus or the engagement for what they're doing because it's just bad dog training.
And actually,
I hate to be rude if I sound rude because it's just setting a dog up to fail. So, some dogs get through it and maybe get to the end, but there's a lot of dogs that get through it with some trauma attached to agility, and they may learn to not even like the sport.
And actually, there's a big risk of injury if you put your dog on equipment before they know how to handle that equipment. So there's a lot of factors to it. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. So here we go. Noni continued. If I'm training with a club once a week, doing training, the club started off on equipment. Like that's Noni, please stop. Please. If like that is not a good recipe for you. It's not a good recipe for your dog. What we are suggesting is if you've just started, jumps and tunnels are not what your dog needs. Your dog needs engagement with you, the ability to look at a tunnel and choose you over the tunnel. There's just so many different things.
It will make you much more successful.
Exactly.
Whatever success defines for you.
So Maria asked a similar question. I have classes paid for until the end of April, so I just don't feel like this is a good time to join. This is the best time to join. You can keep going to your classes, and guess what's going to happen? Here's my prediction: we're now January 30th. My prediction is in 2 weeks, somebody is going to come up to you and say at club, something's different about what do you, is there something different that you're doing? Before you get to the end of your class in April, there are going to be people asking you, could you tell me where you learned that? I promise you that, right? So it's not a problem that you have paid for classes. There are definitely people that stay with their classes. But I think the majority will then take a break until they grow the confidence. Once you understand the culture of confidence, you'll want to go all in on that, not just for yourself, but for your dog, because dogs raised in a culture of confidence, you can see a difference in that for sure. Okay. How would H360 work if you are not starting from the beginning with your dog? So I'm not, do you mean like you're in?
I think she's referring to what you said earlier about that you don't, like that some lessons, you don't have to work with your dog.
No, if you're not starting from the beginning with your dog, I think that
Because I
means
think Denise is in H360.
Yes, all right.
And so I think, Denise, when we open up our brand new Synergy, you will just open the lessons, and some you'll say, oh, we can do that. And it might refresh you to go back and do it. Okay, ask. So, you could honestly say, Jenny and Simone and Kathy, when we open, they've been here for the videoing of it. Are you going to open those classes? Are you going to look at them?
100%.
Right? So, so there was no doubt in my mind that they were going to do that because they're interested in the dog training and the learning. And so if you've already done something similar in Handling360 Connect, it'll be easy for you to do that in 12 seconds. You'll be able to repeat that lesson. But maybe you'll be opening lessons like, hey, this is the influence of the Europeans because I didn't see this part of how to do this.
Maybe that's something.
Absolutely, there will be. There'll be lessons that I'm excited about going back and revisiting. So,
too.
100%.
Chase the bear.
Chase the
Yeah.
bear.
There.
I wasn't traumatized at all. Okay. Any other questions for us before we sign off? So right now we are going to, another question? Oh,
What happens at end of the year? Also, is there a DVD with the video?
okay, Jose, I don't think anybody, but maybe you and I have DVD players anymore.
Also, I don't think anyone wants that DVD because there's so much video material.
So the videos in this program would never fit onto it. It would be a DVD collection. It would not be a DVD. So no, there you can download the PDF from every lesson.
Yeah.
That will be available 100%. At the end of a year with us in Handling 360, you can see by the chat, there is lots of people who are in Handling 360 who have been in Handling 360 right from the beginning that rejoin every single year. We, at the end of a year, we make you an unbelievable offer to stay with us for as long as you want. And so that's what happens at the end of that year. And that's why people stay for as long as they do. We have a winner.
Ooh, you want to do it?
Okay, is it our share winner?
It's our share winner.
I just have to show the prize. Maybe you can show the prize.
Woohoo.
So-
for my Merle's tag toy with Handling 360.
And our share winner is Viola Dyer.
Yeah, good job. Congratulations, Viola Dyer.
You
Thank you
get
for my
a
Merle.
Thank you for my Merle's
Woo, woo.
with
Okay,
the awesome logo.
another question, red and white border collie. So Viola, type into the team at wag at dogs.com. Boom. So C Bravo 2 with a beautiful red and white border
Yes.
collie. Not that I'm biased, but I am. Then the ideal is start the program from the first lesson. Yes,
Yes,
for sure.
definitely.
Angie, I have 2 reactive dogs, 360. Do you help with that for a trial? So there is nothing about behavior in H360, but here's what I do know is the more confidence and engagement and focus you create by layers of good dog training, the less your dog will look to the environment
Yeah,
and
get distracted.
get distracted. So without seeing your dogs, I can't tell you what the likelihood is of that happening. But I can tell you, I've seen it happen time and time again with our students. So a lot of times, because the dogs aren't confident because of the way the approach to the training has been, they are scanning instead of being locked in with their handler. Okay. And if we don't have any other questions, we will say we're super excited for everyone who's joining us to be part of the program. We will be on for anyone who joins in the next 24 hours.
Yeah.
We are going to come back and have a tortilla. What did I call it?
Tortilla.
Tortilla.
Yeah. Tortilla meeting at 7 p.m.
7 p.m. tomorrow.
You can ask any questions you have for us three. We just want that social gathering with our new students.
Community.
So there's a question, will it go into Handling 360 as a bonus? Currently, the team, I will say yes, it will at some point. But currently, the team, our tech team, is so busy building the new website, they are not currently adding bonuses to our older one. So 100% yes, it will. I can't promise when it will happen. Is that a fair answer?
And what about existing students?
I think for now we'll keep it to our brand new students. What do you think? You don't like that? Okay. So we will invite all of our Handling 360 students to our tortilla party tomorrow. Tortillas,
We love our community.
tortillas
So,
and margarita.
tortillas and margarita.
Margarita.
Okay.
Margaritas.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds fun.
Thank you. So for those of you who are watching this and you want to go back and watch our first three, videos. You have until Sunday night to watch those. For those of you that want to join us, then go ahead and join us. And if there's something that we said tonight that was a gem, let's put up a gem post, team. So normally we don't, but I think let's do it. And we are going to pick a gem when we next go live. And we're going to give away.
Can we show the prize?
Oh,
Do we have it?
Yeah, we
It's
can
the
show
best
the prize.
Prize.
Okay.
It's a tunnel bag from Run It/Gallican
Yes.
with our Handling360 logo on it. They're beautiful.
Beautiful.
And our favorite gem.
Our favorite gem. So whatever was the big aha for you tonight, go over and share it with the gem. Where do we find the new blueprint? The new blueprint is if you go to handling360.com/experience.
Yes.
It's there until Sunday, only till Sunday.
Look at this. Oh,
Beautiful. Thank you, Yumi.
Tack så mycket.
Thank you to each and every one of you. And we're super excited to welcome you all as our latest members of the train going in the right direction.
Yeah, we can't wait to have you in our community.
Exactly. We'll see you.